Now, canine behavioural consultant Kelly McFarlane is back. It is really good to see you, Kelly. We are talking today about pet adoption, as there are a lot of dogs and cats in need of a home, but most people generally go for the puppies and the kittens. However, there are much older pets in need of a home, but they're missing out. Why do you think that is, Kelly?
For most people, it's more of, you know, they want a new dog, they want a new cat. And certainly for dogs, it's more of they feel if they get it at the very beginning, when it's a young pup, then there shouldn't be any issues. And of course, they look very cute and cuddly. That's the whole point of having a puppy. And also for having a very cute kitten that gets up to all sorts of mischief. So,
yes, and there's always that thought that you can train them young, yourself,
right,
etc.
Yeah.
So why do some of the older animals end up in rescue centres?
Lots of different reasons. I mean, certainly for us, when we ended up with Zoe, that was actually due to a marriage breakdown, and unfortunately the gentleman who owned her just couldn't find anywhere to live, and you know, so that's quite sad, especially because he didn't really want to give her up. For others, people actually move overseas, and for others it might be healthcare. They just can't afford to look after the animal, sadly.
Yeah, which is unfortunately that's the way sometimes things go, don't they?
Yeah.
And you recently lost Zoe, who we loved having on the show too.
Thank you.
Really sorry about that.
Yes.
She was a little honey. She really was.
Yeah, she was. I'll try not to cry now.
Okay.
So.
Oh no, I shouldn't have brought that up. Quick, we're going to move along then, because I know how difficult it can be. An older dog or a cat, are they easy to train, or will there be behaviour issues?
I think the thing to remember is if you're getting them when they're older, majority of them are already trained. So you're generally not worrying about house training. You're not generally worrying about major behavioural issues unless the animal has already had a previous condition. So, you know, for me, it's more of, yeah, just, you know, get them, see what happens, enjoy it. And if you want to teach them new tricks, you definitely can do.
So you can teach an old dog new tricks?
Yeah, absolutely.
Boom.
Yeah.
Now, what if you already have a pet, and how do you make sure that they're going to get along with the new one in your life?
A lot of the time, depending on, again, where you're going to adopt the animal from, usually you do specific introductions anyway. So for us, when we wanted to have Zoe, then with her at the SPCA, we had about 3 introductions with Sizzle, just because he's a fussy little dog and doesn't always like everybody. And so for us, it was making sure that they both would, A, get along. You know, they don't have to be best mates, but will they live alongside each other reasonably happy? So get the introductions right, take your time with it, don't rush, and you generally shouldn't have any issues.
So what was your experience with adopting?
To be honest, when we saw Zoe, I'd actually gone out looking for an older dog because I didn't specifically want another puppy, and I saw Zoe, and pretty much that was it. I knew she was ours. You know, she was just this big fat teddy bear, and as soon as she saw us, it was kind of, you know, she just leant into us and wanted the hugs. The process itself took a few weeks because, again, for us, we had another dog, so it was making sure that they would get along. Fortunately, they did, because I would have been a bit annoyed with Sizzle if it didn't, because I really wanted Zoe.
That's the thing, is sometimes like you'll be on the street at a cafe and your dog will just go ballistic at another dog for no reason. I mean, sometimes they just don't seem to like other dogs.
Yeah, I mean,
not
you know,
all dogs, but just a particular dog.
Yeah, and for us as people, you know, we don't hug everyone we meet in the street.
That is also very true.
Yeah, otherwise it might be classed as being a bit weird, or definitely too over-friendly. So, you know, again, it's, you know, there are people we meet in our life that we generally might tolerate in small doses if we're totally honest about it. And, you know, it's the same for our cats and dogs. Some can live alongside anything and anyone in harmony, and others, you know, they're very particular.
What about with an older pet, the potential of needing expensive vet care?
Again, you know, it really depends on the animals. So depending on where they come from or what their history is, do they already have a health condition? For some of these older pets, they can be insured still. Your premiums might be slightly higher, but they can be insured. So I tend to recommend definitely do that. Otherwise, you know, again, for us, we were very fortunate with Zoe. She generally didn't have any health conditions until the past 12 months. So again, you know, it's just being aware of what you're, I guess, signing up for, really.
And what happens to these older pets if maybe you don't rescue them? Where do they end up?
Again, it really depends on the rescue, you know. So, you know, realistically, we all like to think that they're definitely going to have a home. But sadly, you know, euthanasia is an option. And even for some owners, if they are struggling to rehome their animals themselves, then euthanasia is that option as well, which is sad.
So if I want to get an older animal, where should I be looking? Which are good reputable services or agencies to go through?
Again, you know, there's lots of different ones. SPCA, most people know. Even your local council, they tend to, you know, get these older dogs in, and usually local rescues. And certainly if you're a mad follower of dogs on, you know, Facebook, then you'll be probably already on numerous rescue Facebook pages as well. So yeah, just keep a lookout and, you know, give these old cats and dogs a loving home, because you could be as lucky as I was, and you know, we got Zoe at 10 years old and she lived till she was nearly 18.
Wow,
so
awesome.
You know,
okay,
yeah.
Kelly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if you need training help with your dog, have a chat with Kelly. All her details are on her website, kellymcfarlane.co.nz.